الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Respected viewers, I welcome you all to a brand new series in which inshallah ta'ala we will be studying Muthallath Qutrub. And in a moment, inshallah ta'ala, I will be explaining what we mean by the term Muthallath. In today's session, first of all, we want to talk about the map of the Arabic disciplines. And I have referred to this map previously in one of my previous videos. We want to talk about where we are on that map with studying Muthallath Qutrub. Number two, we want to talk about the different methods of learning Arabic vocabulary, which methods are effective and which methods should be followed to learn Arabic vocabulary in an effective manner, insha'Allah ta'ala. After that, we will try to understand what we mean by the word Muthallath, and we will talk about the different works on Muthallathat and the significance of these works. And then we will look at different types of works on the discipline of Matnul Lughah. And we will talk about what this discipline is all about, insha'Allah ta'ala. And finally, we will discuss our methodology in studying the Muthallathat in this series, bi'idhnillahi al-kareem. Now, what you see in front of you here is the map of the Arabic sciences. This is a brief map. I have shared a more detailed map in one of my previous videos. The idea is that whenever scholars start to study a language in a systematic way, they break it down into individual components. The smallest component, the smallest element which makes up any language is its sounds. And of course, Arabic is not different than any other language in this regard. These sounds are represented in writing as letters. And one of the first things that we learn when we learn a new language is pronouncing those sounds. As far as the sound system, the phonetic system of the Arabic language is concerned, the details pertaining to it are either covered in the classical and modern works of Tajweed, Ilm al-Tajweed, or the modern works on Ilm al-Aswat. Now, when we put those sounds together, and this is one of the first things that any student learns. When we learn how to put sounds together, we learn how to form words. Now, once we learn how to put these sounds together and we learn how to form words, it is then important for us to study those disciplines of the Arabic language which are related to the Arabic word. The first discipline that should be studied is Sarf, because it deals with the structure of Arabic words and how these words are formed. Then we have Ilm al-Ishtiqaq, which studies the origin and relationships between words. It studies the origin of Arabic words and their relationships. Naam. So it's the study of etymology. Now, Sarf and Ishtiqaq, there is some overlap between them because there are elements of al-Ishtiqaq al-Saghir which are studied in Sarf, but these are two separate sciences. The third science related to the word is Ilm Matn al-Lughah, also known as Ilm al-Lughah or Ilm Mufradat al-Lughah. These are all names of the same discipline, the same science, which is the science that deals with the meanings of Arabic words. So this is where we discuss the semantics of lexical items and words in the Arabic language. And some of the main works of this discipline are Arabic dictionaries like Lisan al-Arab, Taj al-Arus, and other dictionaries as well. And when we're studying Muthallath Qutrub, this is the discipline that we are studying. Muthallath Qutrub is usually the first text which is taught in this discipline, in the discipline of Matn al-Lughah, where we look at some of the Arabic words and their meanings. Once you've learned what you need to learn about Arabic words, you should then move on to learning about Arabic sentences. And there as well, you'll first of all want to learn about the structure and anatomy of Arabic sentences. And for that, you have the discipline of Nahu, which covers that in great detail. And if you want to go deeper into the meanings of Arabic sentences and how Arabic speech is used, the semantics and pragmatics of the Arabic language, for that you have ilmul balaghah. And there are other disciplines as well, but these are the most important disciplines which need to be studied and which form the bedrock and the foundational aspect of your learning. And then you build on this. After that, you study adab, Arabic literature, you study fiqh al-lugha, Arabic linguistics and philology, and so on and so forth. So at the moment, we are here, where we are at the word level, and we are specifically studying the discipline of Matn al-Lugha through Muthallath Qutrub. Now, before I explain what we mean by Muthallath, I want to briefly discuss some of the different methods of acquiring Arabic vocabulary and vocabulary in general. Like these are methods that could be used for learning any language, really. The first of these methods, of course, is general reading. You pick up a book, a magazine, a newspaper, and you start reading it, and you start underlining, for example, new words that you come across. This is an excellent way of acquiring vocabulary in a very contextualized fashion. It helps you remember not only the vocabulary word, but also its usage. And with this method, it's highly recommended that you keep for yourself a separate notebook for phrase mining, where whenever you see an interesting word, you take the whole phrase and you copy it down in that notebook, and you revisit that notebook every now and then. And a part of this reading, of course, this reading can be of different types. You can have general reading, whereby you're reading pretty much anything you come across in Arabic, like newspapers, short stories, novels, etc. This includes reading classical or modern Arabic literature, whether it be poetry or prose. And this is one of the main reasons, why Arabic poetry is taught, why we learn poetry from the Jahili period and then the later periods. It's to learn Arabic vocabulary words. Another beneficial method of acquiring Arabic vocabulary in a systematic and graded fashion is to go through course books like the Medina Arabic Reader, or Al-Arabiya Bayna Yadayk, or At-Takallum, or Al-Arabiyyatu Lin-Nashi'in, or Al-Kitab Al-Asasi. Any of these course books, they all have their own pros and cons. None of them are perfect. But going through one of these course books, and I definitely believe that it is mandatory for any student who wants to learn Arabic in a systematic fashion, and for them to see progress very quickly, they should be studying a course book, because these course books not only provide you with graded texts, they also provide you with activities that you can do to build further skills. The fourth method, and that's the method which we are utilizing in this series, is going through lexical works on Matn al-Lugha, and these are works of different types, as we will see in a moment, insha'Allah ta'ala. Works on Matn al-Lugha are those works which discuss particular vocabulary words and their meanings. And oftentimes they will also give examples from the Arabic language so that you learn how these words are used. And the fifth method is going through Arabic dictionaries. And initially you can start with something like Mukhtar al-Sihah, which is brief and simple, and then you can work your way towards some of the larger Arabic ma'ajim or dictionaries. Now, which of these methods is the best? Um, what I believe is that a mixture of all of these methods is ideal for a student. A student should be going through one particular course book, choose a particular course book, like Al Arabiya Bayna Yadayk, for example, stick to it, complete it. That should be something that every learner of the Arabic language should be doing. And we offer private one-on-one sessions for those that want to learn any of these well-known course books. You can always contact us, inshallah ta'ala. Alongside that, you should be reading as well. And you can start off with simple things. You can start off with مثلا قصص النبيين, or even just general short stories and so on and so forth. And those students that sign up for our program, we do offer and we do make available different resources for reading. You should also be going through lexical works like the one that we will be going through in this series, inshallah, Muthallath, Qutrub. And you should have a good relationship with Arabic dictionaries. You should be referring to them every now and again. If not the physical hard copies, you should be using digital dictionaries, Al-Ma'ani, the digital version of Hansware, and so on and so forth. But a mixture of all of these methods, it's what's ideal for a student to acquire Arabic vocabulary. Now, after we've talked about that, we want to get straight into our topic. We said we will be studying Muthallath Qutrub. What do we mean by Muthallath? First of all, let's take a step back. Why are we studying Muthallath Qutrub? Which subject does it deal with, and so on and so forth? And I answered these questions briefly, but I want to explain the answers to some of these questions, inshallah. So the science that we are studying now, the discipline that we are studying now in this series, is known as علم متن اللغة. That's one name. The other name for it is علم مفردات اللغة. And the third name for it is علم اللغة. And this is the subject which deals with the meanings of Arabic words. Now, the scholars have written many different works of different types, covering different types of Arabic words and their meanings. The most comprehensive of these works are Arabic dictionaries. And then you have some more specific works, like those works that study synonyms, Arabic synonyms, mutaradifat, or antonyms, and so on and so forth. There is a genre from within these works known as the genre of Muthallathat. The genre of Muthallathat. What do we mean by Muthallath? Muthallath is the singular, Muthallathat is the plural form. Muthallath is when you have a madda, you have root letters, right, that make up the word, and the first or second root letter can be read with either of the three harakat, with either of the three short vowels, fatha, dhamma, and kasra. It's valid to read that word with either of the three harakat on the first or second letter. This type of word is known as muthallath. Example, notice here the word ghamr, right? So this madda, ghain, mim, ra, it can be read as ghamr or ghimr or ghumr. All of these three are valid ways of reading it. Ghamr, ghimr, ghumr. Likewise, rashwa, rishwa, and rushwa. These are all three valid ways of reading this word. طيب. Here we see that the first letter is muthallath. Muthallath meaning triadic. it can accept either of the three harakat, fatha and kasra and dhamma. And there are other words which have this ability with the second letter, that the second letter of the word can accept a fatha or a kasra or a dhamma. And then we further divide these muthallathat into two types. Those words that even when we change these harakat on the first or second letter, their meaning remains the same. Like rashwa, rishwa, and rushwa. I can read the ra with a fatha or a kasra or a dhamma. It doesn't change the meaning. The meaning remains the same. And then there are those that when you change this haraka, the meaning changes. So ghamr has a meaning. Ghimr has a different meaning. And ghumr has a different meaning than ghimr. So each of these have a different meaning. So the muthallathat are then further divided into two types. Muthallath means that the word, its first or second letter, can be read with either of the three harakat, fatha or kasra or dhamma. And then there are those that even when you change these harakat, the meaning remains the same. And then there are those that if you change these harakat, and when I'm saying harakat, I mean short vowels, fatha, kasra, dhamma. If you change these harakat, the meaning changes. Now, and this is a table which summarizes this idea. You have those muthallathat which have the same meaning and those which have a different meaning. Now, the first person to organize Arabic words and the first person to present Arabic words in this manner, because this is a way of organizing Arabic words, was Muhammad bin al-Mustanir, who's known more famously as Qutrub. He's known more famously as Qutrub. He wrote a brief work in which he mentioned 32 such words. And he briefly explained their meanings, and he mentioned shawahid, which are examples of usage from the Arabic language. And his work gained a lot of fame. There are some scholars who versified his work into poems. And then there are those who summarized his work. There are those who explained his work, and so on and so forth. There are even scholars who adopted his style of presenting Arabic words in this fashion, and they wrote their own original works. So from the scholars who wrote their works are the likes of Al-Batalyusi. His work is considered to be one of the most comprehensive works in this genre, and Ibn Malik's poem, which is the most comprehensive poem in the genre. Ibn Malik is the same Ibn Malik that we know, the author of the Alfiyah. So we have Al-Muthallath by Ibn Sayyid al-Batalyusi, and we have Ibn Malik's poem Al-I'lam bi Muthallath al-Kalam. Now, as for the Muthallathat of Qutrub himself, there are scholars, as I mentioned, who versified them into lines of poetry. From them is Al-Bahnasi. Al-Bahnasi's nazm is famous, and Ibn Zurayq wrote a poetic explanation of Al-Bahnasi's poem. And another famous nazm of the Muthallathat of Qutrub is by Al-Maghribi, known as Al-Murith li Mushkil Al-Muthallath. And this is more popular in Mauritania and some of the other parts of the world. Now, what are some of the other works in this discipline, in the discipline of Matn al-Lugha? Now, the works of Matn al-Lugha are those works which discuss Arabic vocabulary words from the perspective of their meaning. So any work that does that will come under will come under the umbrella of Matn al-Lugha. And this includes specialized lexical works which present particular types of vocabulary based on specific features, like words being muthallath, or words being maqsoor or mamdood. Maqsoor, that they end with an alif maqsoora. Mamdood being that they end with an alif mamdooda, or words being mutaradifat, synonyms, and so on and so forth. So they look at words that share specific features, and then they publish works related to these words. This is one type of works in this discipline of matn al-lugha. Other works that come under this genre are works which cover words in the Quran and the Sunnah which have come obscure to us, which have become obscure to us. There are no words in the Quran or the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam which are obscure in and of themselves. No, but because of our weakness as far as the Arabic language is concerned, and because we don't live in a world in which pristine Arabic is spoken anymore, these words have become obscure to us. And this is the Gharib literature. So works of Gharib al-Quran and Gharib al-Hadith or Gharib al-Sunnah come under this category. Then you have some general lexical works like Fasih al-Tha'lab and Islah al-Mantiq. Some of these works are closer to being Arabic dictionaries. Some of them were written for writers to have, a selection of words in front of them. Some of them were written to correct common mistakes that occurred at that time, and so on and so forth. But this is the category of general lexical words. Then we have Arabic dictionaries, and these are what we would consider to be dictionaries from a technical standpoint, like Tahdhib al-Sihah, Mukhtar al-Sihah, Tahdhib al-Lughah, Lisan al-Arab, and so on and so forth. Reference dictionaries that you would go back to now. You also have specialized field-specific or topic-specific dictionaries. For example, dictionaries that cover the meanings of istilahat of different Islamic sciences. You have Kitab al-Ta'rifat by al-Jurjani, or dictionaries that cover the istilahat, the technical terminology, the technical nomenclature and jargon of a particular discipline, like Usul al-Fiqh or Usul al-Hadith, and so on and so forth. And then you have finally modern reference works on common mistakes, like Mu'jam al-Akhta' al-Sha'i'a, and so on and so forth. Now I've given not fully comprehensive lists of works that come under each of these categories, but lists which you can benefit from nonetheless. So you have different types of works on the Muthallathat, on al-Maqsur wal-Mamdud. You have, for example, Risala fil Mutaradifat. So you have Risala fil Mutaradifat, which is a contemporary Risala, and you have some more classical Rasail in the Mutaradifat and in Alfaz Mushtaraka, and so on and so forth. You also have the likes of you also have some dictionaries that come under this category, like Al-Mu'jam al-Mufassal fil Jumu'a, a dictionary of Arabic plurals, right? Or Al-Mu'jam al-Mufassal fil Mudhakkar wal Mu'annath, an Arabic dictionary of masculine and feminine words, and so on and so forth. And you have Al-Maknaz al-Kabir. This is a complete Arabic thesaurus and an excellent resource to refer to. Then you have works on Gharib literature. There are many, many works on Gharib al-Quran. A good place to start is Tuhfatul Arib, or if you want to start with a modern work, you can start with As-Siraj fi Bayani Gharib al-Quran by al-Khudayri. And then you have works on Gharib al-Sunnah as well, like An-Nihaya and its Nazm al-Kifaya. Then you have general lexical works, and these are also very important. Some of these works should be studied as part of a structured curriculum, like Fasih Tha'lab, for example. And you have different shuruhat of Fasih Tha'lab. You have Al-Alfaz Al-Kitabiyya, and so on and so forth. Then you have general dictionaries, the most famous being Lisan al-Arab. You have Asas al-Balagha by Zamakhshari, Al-Muhkam, Diwan al-Adab, As-Sihah, and so on and so forth. And you have modern dictionaries as well, and lexicons which were written by Orientalists. So you have Hanswer, you have Lane's lexicon, and so on and so forth. Then you have field-specific and topic-specific dictionaries like Kitab al-Ta'rifat by al-Jurjani, or Mu'jam Mustalahat Usul al-Fiqh, Mu'jam al-Mustalahat al-Hadithiyya, and so on and so forth. You can find these types of dictionaries for almost every other Islamic discipline, and they are, again, very beneficial and helpful. And finally, you have modern reference works on common mistakes, Some of the more well-known works are Mu'jam al-Akhta and Qul wala taqul, and so on and so forth. لحن القول by Sheikh Al-Harbi. And it's important to note that these Mu'jam al-Akhta, not all of them limit themselves to individual words. Some of them even talk about mistakes in tarakib and sentences that people tend to make. So that's important to keep in mind. And in this map, I've summarized the essential categories. Of course, usually when we say متن اللغة or علم المفردات, the thing that immediately comes to mind is uh, meanings of Arabic words and not really istilahat. But because there are dictionaries on istilahat as well, I thought it would be beneficial to mention them here as well. Now, طيب, the last thing that we want to discuss for this session is our methodology. So inshallah ta'ala, in this series, we will primarily rely on the original text by Qutrub himself, and we might refer to the versifications of Al-Maghribi and Al-Bahnasi occasionally. But the main aim is to study the Muthallathat, to understand their meanings and their usage. That's very important. We want to understand how they are used in the Arabic language, inshaAllah ta'ala. Now, so we will be studying the 32 words selected by Qutrub. And after that, we might have a more comprehensive series on some of the more intermediate or advanced texts, inshaAllah ta'ala. Now, this course is meant to be a comprehensive introduction into the world of Matnul Lugha, inshaAllah ta'ala. And we will first, when we study the Muthallathat, we will first look at the form with the Fatha, followed by the form with the Kasra, and finally the form with the Dhamma, like Ghamr, Ghimr, and Ghumr. That's the order that we will follow in learning the words, inshaAllah ta'ala, and their meanings, bi'idhnillahil kareem. Now, if you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask me in the comments section, inshaAllah ta'ala. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this series beneficial for myself and you. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum.